Hi, good people. It is Chronicles number 32. So I'm doing really good, really good. And I'm not going to stay long because I'm getting ready to get on the road and pick up some things. And I got Choco with me. Say hi, Choco. Choco hasn't been feeling well today. Actually, he's been feeling really bad all this week, so just taking him out for a little ride. Anyway, Jesse Smollett. I don't know what to do because I kind of feel bad that you threw away your career, and I feel bad that your family, has to feel the brunt of this verdict. You got to serve 150 days, and you got to pay like $125,000 restitution for the city of Chicago. And so there's some other things. Was it worth your career throwing the career away? Empire will forever be tainted behind your mess. And I listened to the story. Now, to be honest, the first time the story came out, I was outraged because this came out in a time where we were experiencing George Floyd, we were experiencing racial injustice, microaggressions, things like that. And so when he first came out, I was just like, and then it started to unravel like the same night, like certain things he had experienced. And so I'm sitting there, and because I have a natural lie detector, Virgo lie detector. Virgos have lie detectors inside. And as I'm reading this situation, I'm just like, he's lying. And I feel so bad for saying that he was lying, but the story was faker than a $4 bill, because $5 bills are real, and I guess I don't see many. Hey, look, we in cryptocurrency, and money is gonna be obsolete. So I would mark my words, in 5 years we won't be saying realer than a $5 bill. We'll say fake is a $5 bill because cryptocurrency is coming. But I am concerned because he is talking about the S word. I'm concerned that he's saying that if anything happens to me, because his time being served is immediately, and he's saying that if anything happens to him, he did not do it, he did not commit it, the S word, because I don't want to get flagged or marked because I said the word, but if he offs himself. So that concerns me because it makes me feel like, is there like an Illuminati in his pocket? I mean, what's going on? But I say this because my son is getting into acting. And I looked at this story unfold, and I watched the family talk about it after the verdict. He has a family full of actors, from Journey to Jeremiah to, it's a whole bunch of J's in there, but the Smollett family have all been acting at one point or another. And so they're getting up and they're saying, this is an injustice, and my brother is innocent. Power to the people. And scene. If anybody has been into theater and acting like I have, I just see this not to be true. And I'm trying, and there was I don't know if it was the prosecutor at one point or it was somebody that was fighting for him and got him off, and then it was this hungry lawyer that just revamped the case and got him back on, and they wanted to go ahead and prosecute him to the fullest extent of the law for lying. Now, 150 days, he could probably do that standing on his head. Granted that nothing happens to him. And I'm praying. But I'm also praying for him for his well-being. I'm praying for him for his mental wellness and his mental capacity. Because when you act and when you take on certain roles, you feel like you have to be this person in a fantasy land. So I don't know what possessed him to do what he felt he had to do. He is an activist. He's always been an activist. His family is an activist. I've seen Journey do slave films, and I've seen her really act her heart out because she was so passionate about the role that she played. And so it makes me say, why would you do this? Now, nobody is going to touch him with a 10-foot pole once his 150 days is up. I pray that it happens for him, because never say never. When I see people like, I forget the guy's name. He played in The Sopranos. He played in The Sopranos as one of the kids that actually shot at Christopher. If anybody's a Soprano fan, and he was also in The Bronx Tale as Colodro, right? They call him C. He had a very bad drug habit. And then after he got himself clean, he was born again, he served his time. He actually didn't kill the police officer. It was the guy that he was with that did. But he was a co-defendant because he was with them, and he robbed the house. They was just robbing the house for drugs, and it just happened to be a person who was a police officer. And when the police officer came and tried to fight him, the guy who actually murdered him, he was the one who pulled the trigger, and he was with him. And so he looks like Robert De Niro, and I know this guy, and I just cannot think, but I'm going to tag it once the video's over. But anyway, he cannot be in any films unless it's underground or like B movies. And he had nobody to fight for him. Chaz Palminteri, Robert De Niro, nobody would touch him because of this crime and because of their relationship with other actors who may have been family members of police officers, maybe have had nephews of police officers or whatever. Now with this guy, Jesse, he has so many people in his corner, from Angela Rye to Lee Daniels, all of the actors on Empire. And then once they saw this thing come out, they just kind of backed away from him like he had the cooties. And so the only people that can stand by him is his family. So hopefully they can pull some strings for him. But I mention that because of the fact that when I see certain things happen in the acting world and people feeling like they have to do things to take on roles that, is not meant for them to take on, and take on personalities, it kind of filters out in their real life. Like you look like at Tupac and how Tupac died, thinking he was a thug, thug life and professing this whole thing, and Big L and art imitating life and things like that. Just be yourself. Stay out of drama. And I tell my son that all the time, acting. When I seen that situation with Alec Baldwin, when he made the mistake of killing a woman on set, I look at all the people that came out afterwards, and these were like extras. These were like set people. And they were saying the conditions that they worked in was so pressuring that they didn't know if they should walk away or not. And now that my son is young, he's going to an audition tomorrow, I tell him, look, if you feel in your third sense, or if you have a voice in your head that says don't do it, or something is wrong, something is wrong. I don't want to be that mother on that court step, knowing good and damn well you're lying about something and having to defend you because I love you. And I see that Jesse's family, they're standing by him because they love him. They have to smell a lie. They have to see that there's a lie somewhere. Even with the two brothers that's coming out, these guys from Nigeria that said he hired them. They said he lied. Like, how many other testimonies are you going to get to say this was planned? But the way Jussie is trying to play it, to say that somebody put him up to it, or somebody hired him, or there's some MAGA people involved in it, and they're trying to set him up. So if he goes and he does his 150 and he doesn't make it out, investigate it because it's people behind the machine. I don't know, it's so far-fetched. One thing I don't like the judge who reprimanded him. You do your time, that's fine. You don't have to give him a speech on how he's a bad little boy and he threw away his acting, and just talk a little scooch about his activism. You know, because he's still an activist. Oh yeah, you went out here and you lied about this, and you drew this, and you did all this other stuff, and oh yeah, you were an activist. But oh yeah, and then you lied, and then you did all of this, and I see that you were an activist, and you stood for the people, and you were a great actor. But yeah, this is grandiose on what you did, this crime. See, I don't want that to happen to anybody that I know and love, and then feel like I have to, they're being punished enough. Jesse, I'm praying for you and the Smollett family. Whether you lied, because I feel deep in my heart that you did, but it's not for me to judge. It's not my place. This is me, like I'm looking at Instagram and your life playing out all on Instagram. It's not my place to judge. But I pray for you, and I pray that once you get out of this, there's restoration. If you're telling the truth, I'll eat my hat. And once you get out of this, I pray you revelation. I pray you restoration and recovery, so that you can bounce back into your acting career. Because you got a lot going for you. You got a lot against you, just as much as you got a lot going for you. I looked at this boy, this is a good-looking boy. But he's a black man, he's a gay man, so he has double things going on. He has the odds are stacked up against him more than they are for him. And so I pray for him. But this is what happens when you lie. And this is coming from a perspective of a mother. Just my personal opinion. Now, you talk about Karan Andre King, I'll be up here all day, because that's my baby. That's my son. He's the one that's acting. And I want him to be very aware of the devils that's out here that can try and ruin him. I don't want him to lose his soul. I don't want him to lose himself. I just want him to be who he is and just get his break. I don't want him to have to sleep with people and the casting couch and doing all these things that they say happens in Black Hollywood or Nollywood, whatever. So that's my 2 cents. Get it together, Jesse. Do your time. And then after that, there's no double jeopardy. Once you're out, you're out. Then it's about getting back on your feet and take off running and hoping that somebody will have faith in you, that they'll hire you to do a job. Acting. Anyway, I'm on my way to try to get me some soup. I got a little ride down with my baby, Choco. Anyway, so that was Car Chronicles 32. So I'll see you on Car Chronicles 33. I make mistakes. I'm not perfect. I kind of try to strive to perfection. I have some other things to talk about, but anyway, peace out.